Will now come to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
City of Romulus Council meeting for Tuesday, September 2nd, 2014. The roll will show that all council members are present. Number 1 is the agenda, 2 minutes, 3 petitioner, 4 chairperson's report, 5 mayor's report, 6A clerk's report, 6B treasurer's report, 7 public comment, 8 unfinished business, 9 new business, 10 communication, and 11 adjournment. And a motion would be in order to accept the agenda as presented.
So moved. Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Choate, for approval of agenda as presented. Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Mr. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Agenda approved.
2A is approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting held August 25th, 2014.
So moved for August 25th, 2014.
Support.
Motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Mr. Kraut, for approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting held August the 25th, 2014. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Mr. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
2B, approval of the minutes from the special council meetings held August 25th, the 6:15 PM closed session, attorney opinion letter, and 6:45 PM study session, City of Romulus Parks and Recreation.
So moved to approve the minutes from the special council meetings of August 25th. Support.
The motion by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for approval of the minutes from August the 25th, 6:15 closed session, attorney opinion letter, and 6:45 study session, City of Romulus Parks and Recreation. Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
3 is petitioner, and we have no petitioners this evening, so we will go into the chairperson's report.
Thank you. Earlier tonight, we had a study session for amendment to the City of Romulus pension ordinance. And at this time, I would like to bring up Ms. Lita Pola.
Good evening. My name is Lita Pollard. To the mayor, to the council, and to my friends, I would like to give great recognition to, I'm lost with names, Mr. Settlers. He did a terrific job. I've been coming in here a lot, complaining about the area right there behind my backyard and right on Wayne Road. It's beautiful. And my parents, they love sitting out on the deck, looking out. And I just want to, ask everyone to stand, because I don't have a plaque to give them. Give them a round of applause for me. Yes. And he came by afterwards and made sure everything is okay. He's working on some other projects that's over there in the area, and so am I, to get them cleared away. We all want to be surrounded by beauty.
Right.
So I just want to thank him so much, and thank you allowing me to, this time, to recognize him.
Thank you, Ms. Pola. Thank you. Right. Yes, can I have, Mr. Settles, would you just come up just for a minute so people can see what a great person you are?
And if I could, Mr. Chairman,
Thank you. Thank you.
this is J.D. Settles. He's our Director of Ordinance, and one of the things that we've heard through the visioning process loud and clear from residents is ordinance enforcement, fair enforcement, consistent, and follow up as he did with this citizen. But he's done a great job. We're still more good work to do. We have a team. We still have another part-time position to fill there. But he's been doing an exceptional job. Jumped right in, fits with our team, does a good job, and we're happy to have him here. And now we'll hear from him.
Right, okay.
I just want to say thank you, Mayor, thank you, Council, and special thanks to Ms. Pollard. She told me she'd been having this problem for a couple of years, so I wanted to make sure I took care of it for her.
All right, thank you. With that, that concludes the chairman's report.
Number 5 is the mayor's report.
I need a
Need a
motion.
I'll make that motion to accept the chairman's report.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Makowski to accept the chairperson's report. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Crowe?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo? Yes. Chair votes yes. Motion approved, and thank you.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
5 is the mayor's report.
Good evening, Council, Treasurer, Deputy Clerk, members of the audience. We just came off of Labor Day, so my quote ties to the Labor Day theme, and it goes as this. God give me work till my life shall end, and life until my work is done. I thought that was a good one that tied in. So happy Labor Day. Hope everybody had a good kind of close out of the summer and a new foot forward into the fall. But it's a significant day in history. Tying into the Labor Day and how important workers are, I did want to do a couple things this evening. I shared with council before about our Employee of the Month program. We actually kicked off, we had a recognition breakfast where we recognized years of seniority for employees over the years. We had a program that was employee-driven, that was a STAR program that employees could recognize other employees when they go above and beyond. They get put into boxes at certain locations throughout the city, and then they get together and evaluate all those and get feedback from employees. And then there's a selection process to come up with, even though we have so many awesome employees, we have different categories where they select a Employee of the Month. And council's already approved these resolutions, but what I asked tonight is I asked a couple of those employees to come out tonight so that I could officially give them the resolution that we all signed and just publicly thank them. We're going through the process. These were the awards for July. We're going through the process now to start working on the selection for August. But I have a couple resolutions, and I just asked those employees to come forward after I read these, and just so I can hand them out, we can give them a round of applause. And the great thing is when you see the submittals and things that people are writing up for, we have people going above and beyond. I mean, they are doing the job because they love the city and they're passionate about it and they're passionate about customer service, and it shines in everything they do. And the first one I have is for Virginia or Jenny Goodell. It says, during her 33 years, she served the city of Romulus as an administrative clerical employee, significantly contributed and assisted in various different department functions of city government. And it says, whereas she performs her duties and responsibilities and her work relationships have always been characterized by the obvious dedication to getting the job done and also offering great customer service to all the residents. Therefore, let it be resolved that Jenny Goodell, hereby recognized by the administrative and the legislative bodies of the city of Romulus for outstanding job performance. And it further be resolved that any copy of this will then be delivered to her, and we're going to do that tonight, as a record and dedication to her community and congratulating her on all the great things she's done here in the city and being nominated for July 2014 Employee of the Month. And this was for the administrative side. We have a labor and both kind of split up, so it's fair for everybody to throw names in to recognize employees. So with that, Jenny, would you please come up? And you know, when you talk to me, I'll tell you a quick story. Even just last week, I had lunch meeting with a developer, and people outside, when they look at our customer service, They know the go-to people to get things done in departments, believe me. And when I'm meeting with a developer who's looking at bringing a new business into Romulus, her name came up. And they said, basically, if you want to get things done and know where to go to in the building department, Jenny's the gal to make sure she can either get it or direct you to where to go to make that happen. So that's a real compliment. And it takes a great team to support her in doing it. But thanks for coming out. The second one that I have tonight is for Scott Haydenack. And Scott's been here for 10 years, serving the city of Romulus as a labor and trades employee. He's greatly contributed to many functions of the DPW. And whereas his tireless effort in working on water main breaks for many hours, ensuring that residents would regain their water supply to their home, his hard work and efficiencies also are valued and also shown to reflect his morale by the coworkers. Scott Haydenack is hereby recognized by the administrative and legislative bodies for his outstanding job performance. And it also states that this official copy will be delivered to him tonight as part of the record, and also recognizing him as the official Labor and Trades Employee of the Month for July of 2014. Scott, come on up, please. You know, recently we did have in July, as you know, we had some construction work that caused some issues with some water main valves. And I tell you what, we always report in at our department meetings, and Scott's name came up several times. So Scott was here working on this. Scott, put in so many hours. Then he showed up and does a burial. Then he shows up and fixes this problem. And that's going above and beyond. And we really appreciate that. To send that message and that tone that, hey, we're here to serve. I think that's awesome. So it reflects in everything Scott does. And those are just a couple employees. I wish we could have them all up here, but those were selected by and written up by people that were peers. So I just wanted to thank them. And thank you, council, for passing those resolutions. We'll make sure they're part of their employee record. And more importantly, to the families that, they represent, that, they're supporting every day. The residents and families, they've got to be proud. So thank you for coming out tonight. A couple other things I did want to mention. We have a significant date coming up this week, September the 4th. Understand it is the 38th wedding anniversary of John and Janice Barden. So congratulations, happy anniversary, number 38.
Thank you.
Give them a round of applause for that. That's 38 years to each other.
Right.
So congratulations there. Some other good news just along the side of employees to pass along. We had that horrendous rain that hit, that we had lots of floods in this region. There's been all kinds of conference calls from FEMA and state, federal, county people involved. As you know, council, we work with our surrounding partners on mutual aid. What I just wanted to share, though, is how much appreciation, and I think you got a copy of this as well from the mayor of Southgate, but this is from Mayor Joseph Cuspa, and he just wrote a quick note to me saying, Dear Mayor, thank you for answering our request for mutual aid during the aftermath of the historic rain event on Monday, August the 11th. The crew that your administration sent was a tremendous help in the efforts to clean stormwater debris and debris for the Southgate neighborhoods. The Downriver region is a great area, and I am truly thankful to have neighbors like Romulus who are willing and able to help us in our time of need. And kind regards from Joe. So just wanted to pass that on again. Thanks to the workers who helped with that. There was a lot of praise about how people stood up in tough times and helped them, so I wanted to share that. Some things, just more sharing information. I don't have any official report for you tonight, but we have a lot of good things to share. One of the things that I pledged to council we would get back to you on, we had that very unfortunate accident with that led to the death of a young man. And I just want to have Josh Monty give a status report. I know we don't have everything quite back yet, but I think it's important that we at least let you know. So If he could come up, please, and give a little report just to City Council on what we can say we've gotten and what the plan is to communicate moving forward.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Council, good evening, Madam Treasurer. Just want to take this opportunity to update everybody on the status of the investigation the Michigan State Police is conducting. We are in possession of a portion of their investigation relating to the actual accident itself, as well as some information from the black box of the vehicle that the Michigan State Police was able to obtain electronically. We're waiting right now for the entire investigation to be released and turned over to us from the main investigator for the Michigan State Police, who is conducting the entire investigation. Our plan is, once we receive the entire investigation in its complete entity, is to contact the family, sit down with the family, and kind of go over the entire investigation with the family before we release it any further.
And at that point in time, we will, be sharing with council and what we can publicly say. That will be determined once we get the report back, correct,
That's
Josh?
correct,
So
Mayor.
we're trying to be sensitive. And the first obligation is to make sure we sit down with the family and share with them the facts of the complete investigation. And if council has any questions or direction for future, let us know. But just wanted to give, even though we don't have everything, we wanted to at least let you know where it is in the process.
Yes, Ms. McCoskey.
Thank you. Just a question, has the Michigan State Police, have they given us any indication of when they'll be finished with their full report?
I sent, yesterday I was in the office, I'd sent an email just simply asking for a time frame. Just give us a time frame of when you think you're going to be turning this investigation over to us. So I've yet to hear back from them.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, council.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Mayor.
Josh.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council.
A couple other things going on. I wanted to make sure council is aware of this and invite you to it. Also, we have something different we're doing next week, next Monday. We've been trying to do some fun things with employees around here, and we want to make sure council's invited to it also, but we're actually having, it kind of ties in, Mr. Chairman, with the Lions kind of kicking off their season. The employees come up with some of these suggestions, but it's kind of a Lions theme. But we're allowing employees to wear their Lions gear to support the team, and the money they pay is going to help a couple employees that have some health concerns. In conjunction with that, we're doing a chili cook-off competition as kind of a fun fundraiser also to help those two employees. But that's going to be Monday the 8th between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. if council wants to come by. We're having one here and one at DPW. You can go to both or just one or whatever you prefer, and employees are going to be putting their talents onto the test with putting their best batch of chili together. So it's going to be a fun event, but the better issue is that we're doing all this to help a couple employees that have some health concerns, so it's taking care of our own. So I just want you to be aware of that. We have a Romulus Farmers Market again coming up Wednesday, 11 to 4 in the Romulus Municipal Library's parking lot right next to the court in the entryway there. A couple other things that are going on. Just a reminder, we talked about this, I think, at a couple different meetings, but the light parade, just trying to help get the word out, the route changed. Council, I know you guys know you did approve that, but the starting location is the high school. So it is still going to be that September 19th, but it's not going to be starting here. It's going to be starting at the high school, moving south on Tobine, Shook, then down to its normal route downtown. And that's to avoid some of the congestion with some of the busy entertainment that's happening that same night at the festival when we kick that off. So just wanted to remind really the public, we're trying to get that out. We're trying to notify residents as council had asked as well, but I think the more we talk about it, the more they'll remember that the route changed. I want to bring up a couple other individuals just to talk about some updates on some things. First, Bob McCrate, I'd like him come and talk about a couple completions to some things at the parks that we finished up on. So, Bob, if you could.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. The mayor wanted me to come tonight to give you a quick rundown on obviously Fernandez Park has got finished up, and when the big push to open up EJ's, once it got near to completion, unfortunately we had to pull off there so we could open up Fernandez Park and work at some other parks in the community. And something that's near and dear to me, it was the archery range. It kind of sat forgotten because we couldn't get to it. So we were able to return our attention to the archery range. Home Depot gave us a great deal on some of the lumber over there. The Regional Association of Carpenters donated the labor to replace the lumber. Let's see, the court workers did a lot of work over there. The Teamsters did a lot of work over there. Tracy Eddings, I'm sure most of you know her. She's a longtime resident, new employee. She runs that court crew. She got a lot of work out of her crew over there. And Chuck Sherrill, even his crew, they ran over there, did a lot of work. But I'm pleased to say today we officially opened the archery range again. So anybody that's an archer or wants to go over there and hone their talents before hunting season gets here, we have the new bales, the fresh coat of paint, the new lumber. And we were able to go over today and shoot a couple arrows before we came here, and already had some residents out there enjoying it. And also while we were out there, we seen people at the playground. Kids were over there. The horseshoe pits were going. So it was more good news for our park. So
Did we actually have somebody shoot an arrow into an arrow while they were testing the
actually
bales?
happened
You
tonight.
told me, I'm like, no way did that
witnessed
happen
it.
the first day.
I couldn't believe it
It's like getting a
happened.
hole-on-one the day you're opening up the golf course.
You know what? It's worse than that because it's like he didn't shoot the golf club or pull the golf clubs out for 10 years. Keith Bach, our assistant DPW director, hasn't shot his bow in years, and he pulled it out and dropped an arrow right inside another arrow. And then he complained about wasting an arrow and it cost another arrow. Go figure. But anyhow, yes, that's good stuff, and there's already people up there enjoying it.
That's
so,
a great thing.
Hopefully people get out there and hone their skills before hunting season gets here.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, man.
Also wanted to have Tim Keys come up and talk about just trying to be proactive. Many of you that were on council know in the past we had Sunoco had done some underground storage. There's been some activity at E-Course and Inkster Road. And so I just asked Tim just to come up just to talk to you about what we know, what's going on with that process, just so that both you and the public are aware of it and so forth. So welcome, Tim.
Good evening, welcome,
Good
Mr.
evening.
Mayor, Council, Madam Treasurer. I don't think there's been too many people who haven't noticed the drill rig over on the corner of Inkster and E-Course. We've gotten a lot of phone calls on it. And we're aware of the sensitivity of any drilling that goes on in that area for probably two different reasons. One would be the deep injection well. The other is the fracking issue that has become pretty high volume topic as of recently. What Sunoco partners are in the process of doing, they have underground storage caverns in that area that actually extend in Romulus and in Taylor. They store various fuels. Right now, they're actually storing liquefied petroleum. What they are proposing to do is to expand those caverns so they can store additional fluids in them. At this point, they're drilling down into a salt formation to create the cavern. No permit is necessary, although once that drilling is done, any additional work they do will be covered under city permits, and we'll put them through the appropriate procedures and policies.
And Tim, they do have a permit from the Michigan Department of
Yes, they
Environmental
do.
Quality for the drilling portion, the
And
above ground.
And the EPA, so.
And the EPA. So they have gone through that process. We've been in close conversation also with our environmental attorney just to make sure that everything's going as it should, but it looks like they are expanding their business. But I just wanted to have Tim come up and talk about it. He's been working on it with our attorney to make sure that we're proactive, so you hear it and residents hear it, and they know what's going on over in that area.
And it should be noted, we've also been in contact with our partners across the street, which is the city of Taylor.
Taylor.
Because they've been with us in this issue as it relates to the EDS well from day one. So we want to make sure that everybody's in the same loop.
Yeah. The day I went out to the site, Taylor vehicle, they were out looking at it as well too. So, any questions? Just wanted to more bring you up to speed, and so in case you get residents ask about other residents at home, that's what's going on right there. And if anything else changes, we'll let you know. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
And really, with that, that concludes my report. I'm not asking for any money or anything tonight.
All right.
Report, so,
All
thanks.
right.
6A, the clerk's report. 6A1 is second reading, final adoption of City of Romulus amended ordinance, Chapter 36, Division 4, Controlled Substances, Sections 36-269, medical marijuana.
So moved, Mr. Chairman, for second reading, final adoption of the City of Romulus amended ordinance, Chapter 36, Division 4, Controlled Substance, Section 36-269 of the medical or marijuana.
Support. It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Mr. Crowd, for second reading, final adoption of City of Romulus amended ordinance, Chapter 36, Division 4, Controlled Substances, Section 36-269, medical marijuana. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
6A2 is second reading, final adoption of Budget Amendment 14-15-4, introduced at the council meeting of August 25th.
So moved. For second reading, final adoption of Budget Amendment 14-/15-4.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Choate, for second reading, final adoption of Budget Amendment 14/15-4, introduction at the council meeting on August the 25th. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo? Chair votes yes, motion approved.
6A3, second reading, final adoption of Budget Amendment 14/15-6, and that was introduced at the council meeting of August 25th.
So moved for second reading, final adoption of Budget Amendment as previously described.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Makowski, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, for second reading, final adoption of Budget Amendment 14/15-6, introduced at the city council meeting August the 25th. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo? Chair votes yes, motion approved.
And 6A4 is introduction of Romulus Code of Ordinances amended employee pension plan, Appendix B, Article 3, contributions, and Article 6, plan administration for selection of committee members and term of office.
So moved to introduce the amendment to the Romulus Code of Ordinance Pension Plan, Appendix B, and Article 3 contributions, and Article 6 for plan administration. Simple updates to document what the current status is for contracts, et cetera.
I'll support that.
Motion by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Choate, for introduction of amendment to Romulus Code of Ordinance, amended pension plan, Appendix B, Article 3, contribution, and Article 6, plan administration. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo? Chair votes yes, motion approved.
And 6A5 is a study session request from Deputy Fire Chief Kevin Kraus for September 8th, 2014, at 7:15 PM to discuss the Wayne County Hazardous Mitigation Plan.
So move for a meeting on September the 8th at 7:15.
Support.
The motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Mr. Roscoe, for the study session request from Deputy Fire Chief Kevin Kraus for September 8th at 7:15. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo? Chair votes yes, motion approved.
And 6B is the Treasurer's Report.
Good evening. I just have one item under my report, and that is to remind you that there are 28 days until summer tax bills are due, which is Tuesday, September 30th. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
7 is public comment, and this is the portion of the council meeting where the audience may address council. If you would like to speak, please raise your hand, and when recognized by the chair, please state your name and address. And we have no written requests this evening.
Okay. Yes, Ms. Pollard.
I have a question about the Corey School being right across the street from the liquor store, and there's a school right there on Beverly and Wayne Road. Why isn't that school being occupied for, elementary school children? Isn't Corey a elementary school, or is that just a daycare? Does anyone know?
Mr. Chairman, I can tell you that they were running that GSRP and daycare out of it, which it's still owned by the community schools. And I think the other building you're referring to is the Burton Center.
Yes.
That is still owned, and I believe it's for sale by the school system. I know that it's got some building maintenance issues, let's call it, but they are trying to sell that property right now.
I was just concerned
Yep.
by it being an elementary school. Why is it right across the street from a liquor store, and then we have a school that's empty that could be occupied?
Right.
Sure.
Thank you, Ms. Parker. Are there any other comments from the audience? Okay, we will close that part out.
8 is unfinished business.
Mr. Barton?
Yes, Mr.
I
Wadsworth.
just would like to remind the public, I have 2 quick things about bingo during the Pumpkin Festival. I'm still looking for volunteers, especially on Friday night. And a quick shout to Phil and Mickey Rinke, who today is celebrating their 58th wedding anniversary. I know Phil watches the meetings or listens to the meetings, so Phil, in 58 years of being a perfect husband, I'm sure you're...
Number 9 is new business.
Chair.
Yes, Ms. Roscoe.
I have, I'd like to request a memorial resolution for Hewlin Yates.
Support.
Thank you. Hewlin passed away on Saturday, suddenly, at home, and his services are going to be at Cranes. The viewing is going to be Wednesday, that's tomorrow, September 3rd, from 1 to 8 p.m. Thursday will be the funeral, 11 a.m. services, and he will be buried out in South Rockwood at Riverside Cemetery. Hewlin was 75 years old, busy right up until Saturday. Former school board member, he was a director of ordinances here in City Romulus, and he was currently on the city charter, city charter commission. So Hewlin always stayed real busy with the city and politics and whatever else was going on, and I would just like to say that our family already would like to say thank you for all the calls that we've already gotten, and so on and so forth.
John?
Yes, Mr. Wadsworth.
I'd like to expand on my friend Yulin. My wife and I first met him in the fall of 1966 when we had just both bought our brand new homes for $14,000 in the Oak Brook sub. Yulin was a friend of mine. I made friends with Yulin long before I ever was in this politics, this game we call politics sometimes. In fact, in the fall of 1976, Yulin walked from his house on Colbert over to Taft, because back then everything was wide open, and he helped me put in my front yard with sod and the backyard. Over the course of the next many years, we became friends. Yulin campaigned for me. Yulin campaigned against me. But at the end of the day, me and Yulin Yates were good friends. We were darn good friends. And in fact, I just seen him a week ago Wednesday. He was at the corner of Pennsylvania and Middle Belt, and he had some tractor there, and he was mowing down the weeds. In the spring of '80, when I built our place on Barth Road, Yulin came over and did a lot of the interior work for me. And he was just when you talk to him, he was a bear, and he'd scare you, and people say, oh, but inside he had a heart of gold, and he was a good person inside, and he'll be sorely missed. And I'm quite shocked when I got the email today. Yulin, you're in a lot better place than this, and rest in peace.
Thank you, Mr. Wadsworth. Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Chairman, if I could also just speak briefly on Hewlin. Got a chance to know him. I hope he didn't campaign against me. I think he was just campaigning for me, Bill. But
He did both.
He was involved in a lot of aspects of politics, and we didn't always agree, but great guy. He was passionate. He did have a big heart. I think it was just probably less than a couple months ago. He was in my office, trying to help somebody on a tax bill, and it wasn't his own, but trying to check into some things. So I know he was active, and with not just a charter commission, but way back when the city was actually incorporated, giving input way back then. So great guy, truly going to be missed. You know, I know that right now it's a tough week for the family, especially unexpected like that, which, you know, no one expects. It's your last day. So I just ask that we, you know, really pray and keep the family in your thoughts. And as they go through this time, they're coming up with visitation and funeral services. The funeral is going to be Thursday, and we are going to have the flag at half-staff at the police department, which is where ordinance is where he used to work, which I think would be appropriate. We're going to have the honor guard there for him as being a city employee also, and try to send him out with a tribute. We're planning to designate, I will be proclaiming this Thursday as Hewlin Yates Day in the city of Romulus. So it's the least we can do for the family and all he's done for our community. And just keep the family in your prayers. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. It's been motioned. Any other questions? It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Mr. Wadsworth for memorial resolution for Hewlin Yates. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Cho?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Number 10 is communication.
Mr. Chair, if I may?
Yes, Ms. Makowski?
I have the honor to announce that there is going to be a class reunion for the 1974 Romulus High School class, and that is 40 years. I did work on that a couple of times, but it's 40 years. The reunion will be at the Progressive Hall on September 27th. The doors will open at 6 p.m. and dinner is at 7 p.m. It'll be $50 per ticket. Please contact Sue Ruffalo-Evans at 734-444-7765 if you would like to attend. Thank you.
Any other? Well, I'd like to, if no other communication, I'd like to, first of all, thank the mayor for bringing up the Lions, because you know I'm a big fan of the Lions, and I think we got an opportunity to do something this year. Maybe if we win an extra game, that's something. But I'm going to really,
Expectations are too high, aren't they?
that might be asking too much, but we're gonna pray on it. But anyway, another thing, my wife is Janice Barton, mostly known as Grandma in the school system. All the kids call her Grandma. And some of them come to me and say, Granny, I said, wait, no, not quite there, you know, not there yet. But she's very well liked in the community. I just like to tell her that I love her, and thanks for 38 years of raising my kids, and especially the good cooking she gave us. And I love her, and God bless her. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
11 is adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Makowski. For adjournment, Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Cho?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. We are adjourned. Thank you.